Hey YouTube, Justin here. Just thought I'd jump on and chat with you guys and see how you've been doing. Talk about some movies as usual, give you some recommendations, and um, just chat and go from there. It's officially spring here in Texas. We've had a couple days this week where high 70s, low 80s. So I'm not going to say we're officially out of the woods because we'll have some more cold days, but the worst is behind us, I think. Where are you watching this from, and how is your weather this week? Have you started to kind of turn that spring corner? I was ready because I suffer from that kind of seasonal depression or whatever it is, sad, whatever they call it. Seasonal adjustment disorder. Does anybody else? But I'm doing a lot better now. The Oscars just passed. I really enjoyed this year's telecast. Did any of you guys check it out? What I enjoyed about it was the tributes that the actors did to one another. So, like in the Best Actor and Best Supporting categories, previous winners would come out and just give moving tributes to this year's performances. And I thought that they did a really, really good job with that. I was really moved by some of the speeches and thought it was kind of honor enough. Like, forget the award. You could see that some of the folks, like Lily Gladstone and others, were like visibly moved by it. So I hope they keep that because it was really fun. Ryan Gosling did I'm Just Ken, and that was a lot of fun. And he brought out some of the other Kens from the film, Simu Liu and is it Kingsley Benadir? These names brought them out on stage, and that was a lot of fun. It ended up being an Oppenheimer and Poor Things blowout. Leading up to it, I thought the winds had kind of changed or shifted in favor of Killers of the Flower Moon. I started to think that Lily Gladstone and the narrative about the Osage and, telling this American story was more important than Emma Stone's. Now, Poor Things was my favorite film of the year and performance of the year, but the tone, or I thought that the winds had kind of shifted towards Lily Gladstone. And so I was really surprised when she didn't win, when Emma Stone won. I wanted her to just kind of tear her award in half and give half to Lily Gladstone. But there were really some incredible performances this year. Carey Mulligan was brilliant in Maestro. Annette Bening in Nyad. If any of you guys, stop what you're doing if you have not watched Nyad. It's the most badass and cool movie I've seen in a while, especially for women. I was exhilarated and I've shared it with some coworkers too, and everybody that's watched Nyad has just had a ball. So there were some really incredible performances in that category, but I was happy for Poor Things. It took makeup, hair, costume design, I think production design, best actress, and it might have taken adapted screenplay. Don't quote me on that, but it did really well, and I was happy about it. Some other films, and this kind of gets into recommendation territory. So some other films that were like nominated but may not have won. Society of the Snow. That and Nyad are both on Netflix right now, so you guys can, check them out. Society of the Snow was thrilling about the Chile. Is it Chile? About the plane crash up in the mountains and the snow, and how these folks survived for weeks and months. The tension, the set design, the makeup. It's really incredible. I forgot in a few minutes that I was watching a foreign language film. Society of the Snow is cool. Again, Nyad is a triumph of a feminist film, and so definitely check that one out. Also, Poor Things. What does a woman do who doesn't know she's a woman? How does she navigate the world when she doesn't have second-class citizen baggage on her shoulders? As somebody with a lot of hyphens, that really resonated a lot with me to see how someone navigates when they don't have a chip on their shoulder. And they do it freely. They do it the way that straight white men do, much to the chagrin of people around them. I thought it was really brilliant. And so check out Poor Things if you haven't, as a feminist manifesto. Another quiet film, and a film that they don't make films like this anymore, is The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti and Davine Joy Randolph. As I'm a sensitive person, and as soon as Davine Joy Randolph turns towards the camera, I started getting emotional, and tears started welling up. It's such a nuanced and subtle performance. She speaks for so many unsung and unspoken heroes, especially from all of those preparatory schools and Northeastern culture. Anyone that's from the Northeast that's gone to Catholic or Jesuit or preparatory school, you know who I'm talking about. The janitors, the lunch ladies, these kind of people that were social workers and therapists and second moms. And this was a beautiful tribute to a group of people that probably were never going to get their due. And so as soon as the film went off, I'm like, Best Supporting Actress. And she swept every award she's been nominated for. But it's such a cozy film. They don't make films like that anymore. Watch The Holdovers with some hot chocolate or some coffee. It's really nice. And last but not least, Rustin with Coleman Domingo. If you want to see something kind of punk rock about the civil rights movement, kind of an alternative view of history, if you want to see Martin Luther King in a controversial film, like through an LGBT lens, watch Rustin. I think both Nyad and Rustin should be shown in high schools. They're really, really brilliant, about unspoken and unsung heroes of American history and of the civil rights movement. But those were some of the films that were kind of top of the pops for me in 2023. What did you watch? I ran out of patience and time for movies. I couldn't see everything. What were some of your favorites? I recently did check out the film that won Best Sound at the Oscars, The Zone of Interest, this World War II film about this family that takes up residence right next to the Auschwitz concentration camps. And you don't see any of the violence. You don't see any of the death, but you hear. And the reason it won Best Sound is you hear the screaming. You hear the trains arriving. And how these people go about their tranquil lives, idyllic lives, as if this, inhuman suffering was not going on right next door. It is a devastating film, brilliant, and if you're into World War II and can handle films like Schindler's List and Life is Beautiful, watch The Zone of Interest. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But I need some TV show recommendations. Our shows have gone off the air for the most part. Reservation Dogs is off the air. I need a new show like that. I want to watch that Jodie Foster show that's on HBO Max. Is it called True Detective or North Country or something? Somebody tell me in the comments the name of that Jodie Foster show. I want to check that one out. And there may be one other one that's kind of on my horizon. But I need some recommendations for shows and the movies that you really, really enjoyed in 23 and are watching now. Oh, I think the other one that I was thinking about circling back to on Netflix is that show Beef with Ali Wong. A24 produced. I've just heard so many great things about it that I'm going to check it out. But yeah, I'd love to get your recommendations. What have you guys been up to? What are our plans for spring? I went to Mexico to Puerto Vallarta a few weeks ago and had a blast on the beach. I had to shake off, the cold weather for a little while. What are your spring and summer travel plans? I have a lot that's going on, and excited to share some things. Right now, I'll just briefly share, I'm sitting in first world hell. I've been stood up for 2 days by a contractor that's supposed to come and do some flooring here, so that I can move out and get this condo rented. And it's really bumming me out, installing my process when, once you kind of make a reservation with somebody or make an appointment, you kind of mentally start to move on and do other things and kind of check it off your list. So I'm kind of at the last mile of improving this place so I can get out of it. And, just like inflation, it's proving to be sticky to get these last few home repairs done. So keep your fingers crossed for me and my patients that I get through with this stuff and can start to transition into what I'm hoping is just kind of a lower impact lifestyle, lower footprint, lower costs, a little bit less work. I don't want to work as much and as often, and just start to live a little bit of a softer life. Enjoyed films a little bit more than I do now, and get back to myself. Have any of you guys ever taken a sabbatical or an extended time away from the workforce? Any tips that you would share with me? But that does ultimately mean that I have decided to move, and so as you guys know, I'll keep you posted and, let you know about any exciting things that, I have going on. But I just wanted to jump on, say hi, see how you guys have been. It's always good to see you, always good to catch up with you. And until our next chat, leave me a like, a comment, and consider subscribing to Justin Talks Film for more movie, TV, and chatty content. Happy Friday. Talk soon.